Hello traders, and welcome back to the channel. It's another trading week, and we are going to look into the chart and see the opportunities that market will be giving us this week as well. So let's go on to the chart and let's analyze the market. So the first pair that we are going to be looking at is gold. All right, so when we check on growth, so always we use what the top-down analysis procedure to do our hot analysis. So first we come to our higher time frame, which is mostly our one daily or weekly. So over here, what we normally do is that we look for what the direction of the market, key levels that market is what reacting from, and other important what market conditions. So if we look at gold from here, we notice that first the overall trend, as we can see, has been what very bullish, and then we saw this current pullback. All right, and then market is reacting on this particular zone, which is what a support. So this key level over here, that is looking at what that is a support holding markets from what going down further. You see that we had a break and retest market breakout. We had this strong breakout from here and then a retest. All right, and we have this massive pull back. Now markets still come back and rejected, and another what pullback and what rejection. So this is what a very important key level on what gold. Now what we can see over here is that gold at this area had this break and retest as well, and then we had this impulsive move from this area, leaving this particular or this order block behind. So this becomes what an order block since market was bullish from all these areas, and then we have a support zone that market kept on rejecting from there, and we had this impulse move and an order block. So this becomes what our point of what interest that we are going to be what observing now, because this zone is too what wide or too big for us to consider what trading from there. What we can do is that we can go and we'll be going down to the lower time frame to refine what this order block properly. We will refine the order block properly. If we check over here, we saw that once market came here, we had a rejection given as this pin bar, but market still what came down also. You could see that we are having some bullish what indication that market is trying to go, or market is trying to what go bullish from here, from this particular what order block. So let's go down to the daily time frame. Now when you come to the daily time frame, we see that this is what I'm sorry, the 4-hour time frame. This is our what entire what order block or order block range from what from the daily time frame. So when we come here, we are going to look for an order block within that daily time frame what zone. All right, within that daily time frame zone. So if you don't understand order block refinement, you can watch the video on order block refinement so that you are going to what understand how you refine your order block, and after refinement, what zone or what order block you can choose for your trade. So if we come here and we check the zone, all right, where can we see or where can we find what's a valid what order block? So the if we look at the moves within this order block, we had this move. This is what we were we were seeing, this is what we were seeing over here. So we had a break of structure from this particular zone. So making this order block a valid zone that we can choose. You can check the conditions for picking a valid refined order block as well. So that becomes our order block from the 4-hour time frame. So over there, what we can see, or if we assess price action from that particular point, we saw that market was creating. Now we are going to be looking for a bullish confirmation that indicate that market might go upwards. So if we look at these areas, or if we check over here, now we saw that the market was giving multiple rejection. Now look at this particular candle. Look at this candle from here. We saw markets leaving this candle on the 4-hour time frame. This was an indecision candle. So an indecision candle from a key level is a reversal confirmation. It gives a reversal confirmation. So you could see that from the order block, market was started building or giving a reversal or price action. Now, price action is very, very important that you need to pay very, very good attention to. You need to pay very good attention to our price action. So we have this reversal candlestick indication, and we had this impulse move from that particular point. So on our 4-hour time frame, we've had our refined order block. This becomes our refined order block. So by the way, we've talked about the methods of refining the order block as well. So now we go, or we look out for entry. Now from there, also we had this displacement move from that zone. So we had this displacement move from that zone. So if we were to pick our order block or point of interest from that particular point, now this area becomes our point of interest. So we move on to our 1-hour time frame, or we refine it more to our 1-hour time frame to get our entry. So on our 1-hour time frame, you can see that market then move, or market has already created a move. We had liquidities. We have this form of equal highs liquidities above market, and market caused this another expansion move from here. So what we can do, or what we are looking at, is that we have our order block over here, or point of interest, and if market comes back to that particular zone, then we can go long on gold, having our target up to this particular order block. So this is what we can expect on gold. So that is our liquidity, equal highs liquidity above. This is our trading target, this particular order block, and that is what our trade on gold. Now let's also check on silver, and let's see. So that is silver for us. So silver also, we go to our daily time frame as well. Always I like to pick do my top-down analysis from the daily. So over here we are looking for market trend, key levels, and other important factors. So if we check silver, we can see that market is reacting, or market is reacting from a trend line support at this particular point. So we have a break of structure So this decay or this indicate that market is what bullish. So from the higher time frame perspective, you understand that market is what is bullish. So we are going to be looking for buys what entries and also buys order blocks for our trade. So we go down or we refine it to um, we saw that market then reacted or market what reacted to this order block from here. Market then reacted to that particular order block, and then we are seeing what bullish structures formation. So now let's go to our 4 hour and let's see how our internal structures are what are being our external structures are building up. So over here, if we refine our order block from what the daily time frame, this is what we are going to be getting. So this becomes our 4 hour point of what interest. So we had market reacting from this particular zone. So we have your order block. So now, if we look at this particular area or considering what this particular what area, we saw that or we've seen that when market gets to the zone, always price action are very, very what important. So another confirmation or another confirmation over here is that we have what this pin bar. So a pin bar from what a key level, and then we have this engulfing pattern. All right, this engulfing or a confirmation, a bullish candle confirmation from here. Then markets reacted or markets came down to react to that particular point with this particular what order block, and then that order block to market what reacting. Now, if we pay attention to price action over here, we can see that market is giving us continuous what bullish what price action pin bar what formation. So we have a pin bar over here, a pin bar over here, a pin bar, which are all what indicating what a bullish market confirmation. So now we switch to our lower time frame to determine our point of what interest. So from our 4 hour time frame, which area then becomes what our next point of interest or order block that market can react to. So we saw that market created this what huge huge candle at the opening. So this becomes our what order block. Now we go down to, or let's refine it much better. So when we come to our when we come to our when we come to our 1 hour time frame, this is what we are seeing on our 1 hour time frame. So on our 1 hour time frame, so on our 1 hour time frame, we had this becomes our point of interest. Now we look out for liquidities. Is there any form of liquidity the market might be going after? Yes, we can see that we have what equal highs at this particular point. So we know that our conditions for picking a valid what order blocks are what a valid order block must have what displacement, must have what liquidity either below or what above that market will be going after, must have what imbalance and everything. So looking at this particular area, we can see that the we are having what a displacement, an imbalance over here, and also we are having this form of what inducement. Now inducement is a liquidity that is closer to what order block. So markets normally what uses to trap what traders. That is how inducement works. So on silver, this becomes our what our entry. then we can look out for a 1:3. Yes, we can have about 1:3 ratio to this particular what order block. So if we or if market goes up from here and then continue like this, then we will be seeing what a continuous bullish move on silver. So that is what we can expect from silver within what the week as well. So let's also analyze US oil. So oil has been a bit down lately. Oil has been a bit down lately. So if we check on oil over the week, there have been a few fundamentals which is indicating what the war between US what and then between US. So there have been a little fundamentals indicating what a ceasefire between US and then what and Iran. So when that happens, oil then becomes comes what under pressure and we start seeing oil what declining. But then technically, what can we see from US oil? So on our daily time frame, what we can see is that now we have this trend line rejection. We are having this trend line rejection at the top or trend line what resistance above US oil. And as we can see, markets then went there for the first time and we saw what the drop and then markets came back to that particular point and we saw another drop from that particular zone. By then, oil or anything concerning oil is more of the fundamentals of it. It's more of the ongoing war more than just what basing on what technical. So if we see or if there is any form of fundamentals or there's any form of news indicating a continuation or a tension between US and Iran, there is a probability that oil will reverse. But then if we are looking at what technical analysis, if we are paying attention to technical analysis, so we are having this long we are having this what long break of structure around this particular point, and then we had this support level or key level where oil has constantly been rejecting from, where oil has been constantly rejecting from. Now we have this we had a rejection over here, another rejection, and when markets came down to this point, we still had a rejection over here. So overall, the oil price is bullish. Oil is bullish, depending on the fundamentals that will come up over that will determine whether oil is going to keep dropping or coming down. So when we come down to the 4-hour time frame, what can we see or what can we notice from US oil? So if we look at US oil, like I said, we had markets reacting to this order block, or this is where market reacted from. That becomes our current key level from that particular zone. And also currently oil price or oil is reacting at this zone or on this order block, but the current pressure from what the sellers is quite very strong. So we need a further bullish market confirmation around this area. We need a bullish price action first before we would go, or we can consider going long on oil. So we have our support. The overall market is bullish. Now we have our key level over here, which is this particular support level that we are seeing. We've had continuous rejection. Is either that market is either market does something like this. So if market breaks this particular zone, then comes down to this area, then maybe we will see oil prices declining more. But it all depends on the fundamentals that will be coming within the weeks or the days ahead. But technically, we can see that oil price has been bullish and we are having this consolidation phase over here. So we are paying attention to what technicals are telling us. So we know that we have our key level and then market then reacted. So this becomes our last point of support. This is our last point of support on this particular zone. We had this internal structure break. We had this internal structure break around this level. So oil price is very bullish. So this then becomes our point of interest. And you can see, or over here, we see that there's an inducement. Like I said, always inducement is a liquidity closer to an order block. So when you have any order block like this, whenever we see an order block like this, and there is any form of move that do not really tap on your order block, so here becomes, so you are having another block over here, but there is some kind of a move that didn't really trigger your order block. This area becomes an inducement for you, because it will be used as a trap for buyers. If someone do not, or for people who do not understand the concept of valid order blocks very well, they are likely to trade from that particular zone. So if we look at this area over here, you saw that this area looks like a valid order block. It look like a valid order block. You can see that we had this rejection over there, then market came downward. So anytime that you are picking your order block, look for that kind of inducement of trap around that particular order block, so that you don't get yourself always being taken out of the market. So we have the inducement and order block over there. So we switch down to our 1 hour time frame. So you can see that it is much clearer on our 1 hour time frame. So we have our order block over there, but then we need a further confirmation. We need a further confirmation or price action to confirm. You can as well check the entry confirmation from the order block refinery video, so that you will understand the entry confirmations that you can look out for. So these are some of the analysis that we can expect on silver, gold, and US oil. So if this particular video or this breakdown helps you to understand the market, please ensure that you subscribe to the channel. Set up your notification icon so that you are going to get any form of analysis that you dropped in this channel or on this particular channel. The rest of the analysis are going to be posted in the Telegram community. Please, if you are not part of the Telegram community, kindly check the link in the description box to join the Telegram community, and you are going to get a whole lot of what analysis, technical analysis to help you make what your trading decision. Thank you for watching.